Sorry guys, this isn't a video about the awesome Capcom made Strider 2, but instead a video about the steaming stink of a turd published by US Gold and developed by the Masters of Crap, THX. Also known as Journey from Darkness Strider Returns in the US. This game first appeared on home computers, starting with the Amiga in 1990. This version has a different plot to the console versions which came later. In the computer version of Strider 2, the object of the game is to rescue the princess of the planet Magenta from a terrorist group that is keeping her captive. The controls in the computer version are similar to US Gold's home computer port of the original Strider. In other words, complete shit. Although the character cannot slide or climb ceilings like in the original game, making it even worse. Adding to the base weapon, Strider now possesses a rifle whenever he's standing still. I guess it's a magic rifle that vanishes when moving. You've got to think about safety after all. I'm sure you can tell this game is bloody awful and a stain on the awesome Capcom developed original and Sega's equally awesome Mega Drive port. So next up we have the Atari ST version, which is just as bad as the Amiga version. In fact, it's worse simply because the audio is ear-piercingly bad. Same dull graphics, same horrible gameplay, and some poorly designed areas. Nothing to see here. So here we go with the Mega Drive port. So how can we make a crappy US Gold published game even worse? Easy! Continue to allow THX to develop it. Classic. Needless to say, this is an awful game, but it does differ from the previous computer versions in several ways. While the plot is the same, the antagonist is now the Grandmaster from the original Strider. The ability to slide and move on the ceilings like the first game has been reinstated, and instead of a gun we can now throw shurikens, but only if they are collected. There are a few other changes here and there, but in all honesty it doesn't matter, because the game controls, looks and sounds like crap. Well, actually the speech is bloody amazing, some of the best on the Mega Drive. Check it out.
A door will lead you to the paths of Hades, Strider. Fulfill your existence, warrior. I shall see you in fragments.
You can never win. Don't die, Strider.
Ha 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 ha!
Not bad, eh? Still, not worth buying though. This is nothing more than a barely playable mess of a game that will have you throw your controller at the screen in anger. So let's take a look at the 8-bit port, starting with the Commodore 64 version. Well, it is smoother than the Amiga and ST versions, but it still sucks big time. There is no fun to be had, and taking out the bosses is impossible. Nope. Besides the reasonable looks, I can't recommend this trash to anyone. Here's a nice surprise. This ZX Spectrum port resembles the Amiga and ST versions far closer than the Commodore 64 one. It also plays better too, but take that for what you will. It doesn't mean this is a game worth playing, but it does mean it's the most shiny of the turds so far. And yes, that does include the Mega Drive game. It looks like we've found a new shiny turd. Just like the ZX Spectrum port, this one plays reasonably better than the others so far, but now with the added bonus of being in colour. Can the 8-bit console steal the crown? What we have here on the Master System is a weak port of the Mega Drive version. The Mega Drive game was bad, but this is even worse. Some of the control ideas are baffling. For example, if you are hanging from a tree, what is the logical idea to pull yourself up onto the branch? That's right, push up, just like the original Strider. Well, in this game, you press jump. You can't start to comprehend how awkward this makes some sections. The floating controls don't help either. What a mess. Game Gear port is basically the Master System version, but with a few graphical changes, new enemies and parts, and far less viewable game world, making this even tougher than the Master System game. And let's take a look at all those versions of Strider II running side by side.